Hello everyone, today I have for you an unboxing of a brand new kit from Alpha Models, and that is the Toyota Supra Top Secret GT300, as I've said, by Alpha Model. We have this artwork on the box and also this one right here on the other side. Fresh from the delivery van just left, I came straight into my hobby room to have a closer look at what exactly is included. So let's begin doing it together. And over here, the first thing that welcomes you are 2 sheets of A4 paper showing all the necessary information. We'll take a look at that very soon. But first of all, I'm more excited to see what pieces are exactly included. So let's start digging. And there it is. Lovely. We have the Supra and lots of bags. Okay, so we have the Supra. I can see the wheels, interior parts, clear parts, more resin parts, more resin parts, more resin parts, screws. This is for the rear spoiler. Very nice. Also made of metal. And what's more, we have decal sheet, photo etch, and a lovely what's this? Okay, a very nice, lovely cardboard showing what it needs to look like once it is completed in the traditional top secret gold, the official GT300 version, as we can see over here. Alright, let's start unpacking and see exactly what is included with this lovely kit from Alpha. And obviously I shall begin from the body. That's quite heavy indeed. So let's begin with the chassis together with the interior tab. As you can see over here, minimal detail, and on the bottom here's the chassis with its details, typical basic Alpha style. Over here we have the front details. Okay, gearbox, half of the exhaust because the other is supplied separately, very basic differentials, and lots of positions for the screws and everything. That's the typical Alpha chassis right there from both sides. And now the body. From what I can see, very nicely casted, very nice details. Nice. Let me switch off the lights because I think that alright, like this you can see better when it comes to the finish. And as you can see, the casting is of typical great quality from Alpha. The door handle is supplied separately, I can notice that. More details on the rear panel, as we can see. And over here I can notice that it has a missing fuel cap compared to the original. However, that is because you are supplied with a photo etch piece. We can see that later on when we visit the instruction manual. You are supplied with a photo etch piece where you attach it to the door and then scribe the fuel door yourself. On the bottom we can see some details on the roof. Otherwise it's all about the typical Alpha solid resin pieces to mount the wheels and everything right there in place. The first bag And as we can see, this one contains the rear seat, dashboard, with the missing passenger side of the dash. That's because over here we have to attach, it's not in this bag, it's into another bag, the gauge pot with the gauges facing the driver. And it's great that it is supplied separately because you can go for carbon much easily. Piece of the engine, we can see right there. And finally, the Recaro seats, which once again are very, very nicely casted or molded. On the back also, nice details, just some tiny pieces to clean over here, otherwise very nice. So now let's take a look at the wheels. All four of them are the same. I would have loved if the rear ones were a little bit wider, have a more dish, just like the real one. However, they still have a nice dish over here, as you can see, a nice lip, and that makes them very nice. It's amazing. It's great that the centerpiece is supplied separately, because like that it will be much more easier to paint. And here is the lip together with the tires. Very, very, very nice tires. As we can see, soft rubber, and they have the Toyo Proxys over there scripted onto the face of the tire, which is a very nice detail. On the back there's just some pieces to sand down and remove from the tire. However, other than that, they are very nicely molded as they are. Next bag, lots of pieces. And in here we can see the door cards. Very simple. As we can see, we also have the headlamps, intercooler, the centerpiece is completely flat. However, that's because there's a photo etch that attaches over there, and that makes the intercooler detail. Radiator, disc brakes, which is great that the calipers are supplied separately, much better to paint. Over here we have the gauge pot of the dash, which I mentioned earlier, with the 3 gauges, and also the rear tail lamps. Typical Supra with the 4 circuits. And finally, the exhaust. Here's the exhaust. Right there. Third bag. This one contains a lot of smaller pieces. And we begin with the... wait a second. Alright. We begin with the roll cage. It's good that it comes in one piece. On the bottom we have those pins that attach to the interior, and just this piece to remove, which also looks nicely molded and very detailed, as we can see. Rear spoiler. These are for the wheel attachment. We have 4 of them, 1 for each wheel, the hubs. And then we have some steering detail with the column, with the detail of the indicators. And this is a nice thing, that the steering is supplied separately, the outer ring and the middle part, which is over here, which makes it much more easier when it comes to painting. Handbrake. And then we have the rear struts over here, because included there is also the rear strut brace. And these are the supports just for that. Calipers, the first set of 2 calipers, and the rear diffuser, nicely detailed over there. Finally, a piece of resin that contains many pieces, gear lever, the exhaust tip, these are for the front bumper, rear view mirror, the windscreen washers, together with the door handles. When I mentioned the windscreen washers, it's because over here you have their place, however they are supplied separate, which once again is amazing to paint into a different color. It's better even for the polishing, much better than having them in place and trying to polish in between them to get a perfect finish and then trying to paint them black in place. That's great that they are supplied separately. Final bag. And in this bag, over here we have the exhaust tip. I think that the other one was not the exhaust tip, however, it was for this one right here. It attaches over here for the side exit, and then this one is the exhaust tip that attaches to the main silencer, main exhaust. They are the supports of the rear spoiler. These attach to the body, and then the photo etch supports, the photo etch arms attached to these two pieces. We have the fan, which for me is missing one of the propellers. However, I think I've seen it into the bag, so it must be somewhere over here. I just need to, over here, yes, it's over there. One of the propeller is broken. I just need to attach it back, no big deal. Side mirrors. This is the bar which I mentioned earlier, the strut brace for the rear, which is very nice because it will be visible from the rear window. We have this piece, which is a hose going from the radiator to the engine, to the piece of engine that is supplied. And finally, these two pieces are the rear brake calipers. What's more, then we have all the clear pieces, and we can see the front and rear headlamps right there, 4 pieces, and then all these small pieces. We have 8 round pieces for the rear tail lamps, 1 into each hole, and then there are for each of the front headlamp also, and also for the lights that attach into the front bumper over there. So that's why there's all these quantity of clear pieces. The last 2 bags that I've shown earlier are the 4 screws that attach the chassis to the body, and also these very small rivets which are used for the rear spoiler. And now the decal sheet together with photo etch. Let's take a closer look, because there are many pieces. And what do we have? Oh yeah, of course. And the windows. So we have the windows, the clear parts. Right there. It's great that it has the black already supplied with them. Less work for us. Hoping for a good fitment. What's more, the decal sheet. There we go. Very nice indeed. And finally, photo etch. Lots of parts, lots of pieces. You have disc brakes, many grills, wipers, everything. And then we have the support for the spoiler, the rear spoiler, right there. These looks like from the pattern, I'm assuming they are for the seat belts. However, I'm not sure. I still need to check about that. Seatbelt buckle harness together with the pedals. What I can assume, this looks like one of the pedals. And finally, this is the photo which I mentioned earlier. We can see it over here with so that you attach this to the rear Medgar over here, right there, and then you scribe the fuel door yourself. And together with it, there are some other photo etch pieces. Finally, we have the instruction leaflets, 2 A4 papers. Let me switch on the light so that we can see even better. And the first page shows us all the pieces that are included, beginning with this one right here, all the resin and clear pieces, where each one is assigned a number, as we can see, to make it easier when it comes to finding the exact location where each part needs to be attached. We can search with the decal, and that is referred to as R. Then we have the PE, photo etch, all the photo etch pieces, decal, D, the car windows with the number, and then we have the rivets together with the screws. So that's all the pieces that are included with this kit. Turn it around, and we begin to find the first explanations, everything where it needs to be attached, beginning with the dash. And as we have just seen earlier, so that makes R, we search for that particular part, and then we have the D, decal, and PE, photo etch. So everything is explained. If it's either a resin, photo etch, or a decal, whatever you need to attach. Moving on, we have an explanation of the interior, all the pieces, the hub engine, together with the radiator and details. Okay, I'm not seeing an explanation of the colors that needs to be applied, and so I'm sure, I'm guessing that you need to do some research before beginning to actually airbrush the colors. However, the good thing is that this particular Supra GT300 from Top Secret, there are a lot of pictures online about it, so that will be very helpful when it comes to finding the exact color of each part where it needs to be exactly airbrushed in. Next step is the Supra from the rear. We can see every piece, okay, what needs to be attached, photo etch. This is what I've mentioned earlier, to scribe your own fuel hatch. Right there, photo etch, more rear spoiler. Here is an explanation of the rivets where they need to be attached. This is a picture showing us how it will look. We turn to the second page with the Supra on the front now, and everything, every piece where it needs to be attached. Beginning with the, you have the windows, okay, wipers, hood latches, headlamps, the intercooler with the separate photo etch as mentioned earlier, everything where it needs to be attached. Intercooler, more photo etch, once again, more photo etch and resin pieces, and the photo etch pieces that need to be attached to the hood, together with the windscreen washers, which is a very, very cool addition that they are supplied separately. And finally, the last page, first of all showing us the chassis, the screws, diffuser and exhaust, everything in place, the hubs, each hub where it needs to be attached, brakes, calipers, photo etch pieces, together with the wheel assembly. Once again, I mentioned this is amazing that they are supplied separately, because it will be very, very time consuming if you had to mask and airbrush them into separate colors. Finally, we have an explanation of all the body decals where they need to be attached one by one. There we go. So that is all from me. I really hope you find this video helpful, especially if you are still waiting for yours to be delivered. You will start by having a quick look at what exactly you will receive, or else maybe you are still considering if you should get it, yes or no. Maybe this video helps you decide if it's worth buying this Toyota Supra from Top Secret by Alpha Model. That's all from me. I thank you all for watching. Please subscribe. That will be very helpful. Leave a thumbs up, which will help me with the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you all into my next video. While if you have any question, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you, and I will see you into my next video.